from Glen Mills, number 23.
And a good evening to you here from KB Willett Arena. This is Pointers men's hockey here on 90 FM and SPTV. Sorry for a little bit of a delay here in the broadcast. We were experiencing some technical difficulties. However, I think we're going to be all set and ready to go from here on out. Well, as we now approach the national anthem, I'll let you guys listen in and we'll get right back into some Pointers hockey right here on 90 FM and SPTV.
And those that gave the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom. Here is Heidi Oversad singing our national anthem.
Excellent rendition there of the national anthem. Once again, everybody, this is Pointers Hockey here on WWSB Stevens Point 90 FM and broadcasted over on YouTube by SPTV. Got to credit Ryan Kreft. He's up here working the camera for us here tonight. We got an exciting matchup here between two WIAC powerhouses. Stevens Point, obviously a little irregular start to this season. They are 2-1-3. Last game they played, they tied St. Olaf in Minnesota 5-5. Before that, they won against St. Mary's, Minnesota 8-1, a big-time win for Stevens Point. But on the other end, you have the red-hot UW-Stout Blue Devils. They are 5-1 on this season and are on an absolute tear, just playing some outstanding hockey to start the season. And you have to think if they're able to pick up a big-time win in KB Willett Arena today, that would go a long ways towards a national ranking. Obviously, top 15 here in hockey. But, you know, a win today not only goes long run for, you know, ranking-wise, but for Stout, excuse me, and Stevens Point for that matter, this is points in the WIAC to try to start the season. Obviously, Stevens Point, their first home conference game of the season for the Blue Devils. It's their first WIAC game on the road. Stevens Point tomorrow will head up to Ashland to take on Northland College, and that will be their road opener here in the WIAC. But we got some good, exciting hockey for you here tonight as number 11 Dayakawa and Cody Moline start this one up, and Stevens Point quickly gets the puck in the Blue Devils defensive zone here. Isaac Moberg and Brett Hummerstone behind the net, quickly flipping up to David Hill. Now get it to Moberg up front in front of the net, and David Hill is trapped there behind the net, and finally getting to it is Dayakawa, and he'll flip it up the ice, and here come the Blue Devils, but this Stevens Point intercepts it, and that puck flies out of play. And we have our first stoppage in play here, 19:33 here in this opening first period. So good aggression here in the opening couple of seconds of this one as Stevens Point comes out of this one aggressively. Obviously, they had a 5-3 lead in their tie with St. Olaf. Their past two games, Stevens Point has been on top, but they have just not been able to hold on to that lead in that last game. The first game they played outstanding, had an 8-1 win, actually went 2 for 2 in the power play. A pass to the slot looking for Moline, and that's intercepted, and here come the Blue Devils on the push. That's Dahlside on the push, and here comes Sam Aid who intercepts that pass, and now Cody Moline goes down the ice and flips it up, but the Blue Devils are on the attack still once again. Pass to the slot, that goes up front, and a stick in the lane by Stevens Point deflects that pass, and now the Pointers and the Blue Devils are going to fight for it alongside the boards. Ide crashing in the sides with Dollicide. Now it just stays in the zone, but a nice interception there by Witherspoon, and now Stevens Point with it. Mick Hennigan gonna flip it up the ice to Cody Moline, and Moline will do a bank pass, and that's gonna be corralled by Haid on that one, and the Pointers will get a line change. So a pretty rapid pace here so far for Stevens Point. In the net here tonight for the Pointers, Ryan Wagner, great to see him back in the net. If you remember the last homestand that Stevens Point had, Ryan Wagner came out of a game due to a unknown injury, and he wasn't able to come back in that one as he makes a big time play there, gobbling up that offensive attack by the Blue Devils. And stops play here momentarily. 18-17 to go here in this opening first period between Stevens Point and UW-Stout. Face-off coming here. Hart and Finstrom, and Hart wins that one, and here comes Stout. And that one hits the referee, and now here comes Brady Smith on the push here. 2-on-2 here, looking for Fader, past the slot, but that one goes wide, looking for Finstrom, and they won't get it. Brady Smith all along the sideboards, and here come the Blue Devils. Conant now with it, he'll go up the ice, and Wagner will step outside of the goalie's box, and a big time check there on the boards there by Fodl. Getting the puck out to center ice and flipping it up is Carter Rue, one of those seniors, and he's taken down. No call here. And Verston now on the move for the Blue Devils. Verstegen, one of these, versatile players for Stout, one of the captains on this squad. Big time hit there on Tyler German, and now Stevens Point within in the corner. Wilson Northey going to try to get it, but it can't stay on the stick of Tyler German, and he'll head to the side for a breather, and Stevens Point will sub in some more players. Nice interception there by Moberg. Moberg still got it past to the slot, and that'll be deflected. Sam Ide with it now with the shot, and that hits a skate, and that deflected. A chance up front, and no, not once again. There was a couple chances there for Stevens Point. The goaltender's without a stick. It's right in front of him, can't get it. Fighting in the corner is Sear and Moberg. The puck now goes behind the net, and the goaltender finally does get his net. Dawson Green, the freshman out of Brandon, Manitoba. A shot on goal there by David Hill, nothing doing. Quick action here by both sides. Puglias with a nice side check there as Diakawa quickly flips it into the Stevens Point defensive zone, and Ide will now go up the ice, and he'll try to get it to Andrew Puglias, but that'll go off of him, and the Blue Devils will intercept it, and now they're back onto the push. Here comes UW-Stout, a shot, and that one goes wide. Ooh, there was a chance for Stout to get on the board here early. This is a team that is deadly offensively and not just at full strength. They have 3 shorthanded goals here as Wagner gobbles up that shot there by Stout. But UW-Stout is an offensive juggernaut. They have 8 power play goals on the season, 3 of them coming shorthanded. They're 8 for 23 in the power play. They are just outstanding in that category. Now, on the other end is Stevens Point. They are 3 for 20 on this season, and they really struggled to start off the season. 0 for 14 at one point, but that successful trip against St. Mary's, really maybe we'll see if that got something going here for Stevens Point in the power play, but they were not looking good to start the season. Another chance up front for the Stout, and they can't get anything going. Another shot up front, and there's a score, and that was number 28 for the Blue Devils. That was Kobe Keller as he just lined one right into the net, and UW-Stout gets on the board first. They beat Wagner. Ooh, what a play there. And Stout gets on the board. And for the 5th game of Stevens Point's season, they will have to come from behind in order to win this one. But a great play there, and Keller lasers one in, and Stout has the early 1-0 lead. Finstrom ties up the face-off and quickly sending it out. And out of play was Brady Smith.
Goal for Blue Devils.
big time shot. I mean, it was just a one-timer there by Keller, and he just snuck it right by the armpit of Ryan Wagner, and that gives Stout the early lead. Just barely 5 minutes into this first period, Stout has the early 1-0 lead. Puck goes up the ice and will be growled at the top by Nicholas Omatario, still fighting for it, and now Jordan Fader has it, and he's sprinting up the ice looking to try to do some damage, and he tried to bank past that off the sides, and we're going to get a delayed penalty. Stevens Point, Brent Hummerstone with a shot up front, and that goes off the stick. Delayed penalty here, and that will be called. I think that's going to be slashing on UW-Stout for looking or tripping. But Stout gets on the board here just about 4:40 into this. 4 minutes and 40 seconds as of 4 minutes and 40 seconds right now. They have a early 1-0 lead. Hitting to the box is number 4, Matt Fottle, the sophomore out of Prince Albert, Saskatchewan, and a face-off won by Stevens Point. And now the Pointer's going to look for a chance to try to tie this one up here if they can execute here on the power play. Again, an area I was talking about, ladies and gentlemen, that Stevens Point has struggled mightily. And this is a Stout team that's not going to play pretty lazy either. They have three shorthanded goals this season. They attack while on the penalty kill. And as we see right there, Darakawa intercepts that pass, and now the Blue Devils are on the push. 2-on-4. They don't have numbers, still slashing down the way, and Darakawa just lazily laid one on the pads of Ryan Wagner, but now Stevens Point on the push, and Jordan Fader fighting for it in the corner with Sear, and now the puck is going to exit the offensive zone for Stevens Point. They're going to have to reset. Hennigan now with it, and he'll dump it off the boards to Tyler German. Now the Pointers are back on sides, and German's going to slash past the slot up front, and that's nothing doing. Keeping it in the zone, though, is Hennigan, and Hennigan surveying, and now he'll slow things down and just about exit the zone as Finstrom with it. Fletcher Anderson. One-timer up top. That was by number 2, Mick Hennigan, and that one goes off a skate, and that will stay in the zone. Stevens Point still with it, and they quickly flip it up the ice. Fletcher Anderson, ooh, nice hit there in the corner by Stuckert. And now clearing it out is Sear, and Stevens Point that has struggled mightily here on this power play, have very few shots, have about one shot to this point, and 30 seconds away are the Blue Devils away from killing this power play, but Tyler German has other ideas, and that pass is intercepted by number 7, Gunnar Moore, and he quickly flips it out of the zone, and Stevens Point's going to have to reset this. It's really impressive how good this Stout team. Here's a chance up front. Omatario, and a nice pad save by the goaltender. David Hill now with it. Hill with a wrist shot, nothing doing. Smith to German to Hill, and an easy glove save by the goaltender Green. So first penalty kill, success for Stout, as they are this is just a team that was projected to finish, not projected to finish one of the top teams in the WIAC, and they have really just come out of the gates this season and just been one of the most electric teams that you're not going to just see in the WIAC, but the entire country. This is a team that plays incredibly good defense and a team that plays insanely good offense, as we saw early in this one as they sneak the puck right past the all WIAC goaltender Ryan Wagner. But Stevens Point down 1-0 here again. I don't want to sound like a broken record here, but in now 5 of their first 7 games, Stevens Point will have to come from behind. In 4 of those games, they were able to force them into overtime, and hitting the deck there was the Pointers. I couldn't quite see. That was Carter Rue. One of the seniors on this team for Stevens Point. Hasn't played much this season due to an injury. Harrison Stewart now with it in the defensive zone, and he'll circle behind the net. And now the offense will start going here for Stevens Point. Almost lost control of it, did Wilson Northey. I don't know if he really saw where it was, and just jumping on top of it is Green. 12:43 to go here in this opening period. UW-Stout on top of UW-Stevens Point, 1-0 on a big-time shot by Keller. Beats Ryan Wagner And that's where we stand in this action so far. Stevens Point had a chance to answer with the power play, but you know, that has been an area that this team has struggled with this season, and they were not able to do anything with it. It remains a 1-0 lead for Stout, and the Pointers are still just looking to try to get some offensive rhythm here in this game, let alone the first period. Ide now with it at the top. Ide surveying, and he's going to have a shot, or excuse me, a pass. Looked like a pass at the slot, but also a shot. It looked like he really couldn't decide between which it was going to be. And now here comes Hennigan with it. He'll go up the ice. Hennigan's going to pass the slot to Witherspoon, and there's a pass up front, and the goaltender Green is just going to gobble this one up and stop play here. 12-14 to go, first period, as both sides are going to get a line change here and get some fresh legs on the ice. And like I said, this is just, and I hate to, like I said again, I hate to sound like a broken record, but this Stout team is just very impressive to watch. You know, they're an aggressive bunch, a team that is always going to play incredibly good defense. So this is the type of team where you have to play almost a perfect game if you want to come away with a win. And Jordan Fader with a quick shot up front, and nothing doing. Tice now going to check in. Tice gets it over to Finstrom. Finstrom going to do a wraparound pass and a pass to the slot. And he was looking to get it to Fader, but nothing doing. Brady Smith with it at the top. Now gets it to Noah Finstrom. Finstrom with a shot, and that one's wide. And here come the Blue Devils. Gunnar Moore with it. Now gets it out of the zone. Now keeps it in the zone, and Armatario keeps it in. And we're going to have a stoppage in play. Offsides is the call on Stevens Point. 11:41 here to go. But like I said, this is a UW-Stout team that does not beat themselves. They are an incredibly well-coached team here. Mike McDonald, his third season here as the Blue Devils head coach, just every year has consistently a good team. If you remember, UW-Stout, they were able to get through round one of the WIAC Conference tournament last year before they fell into a buzzsaw in UW-Eau Claire. Stevens Point, on the other end, they played UW-Stout a couple times last season, a lot of victories for Stevens Point, but this is a completely different squad for Stout, and they're looking for some revenge on their mind as they want to assert themselves as without question, the #1 team in the WIAC. Cody Moline now with it, looking to try to get it to his partner in crime, Fletcher Anderson, but nothing doing. And now Brett Hummerstone going to have to set the offense going. He couldn't get the puck on a stick, and now here comes Harrison Stewart on the push. And Stewart's going to quickly get it up the ice, but Connor Witherspoon couldn't handle that, and the Blue Devils will try to get it, but Stevens Point now has it. That pass will be intercepted by Hyde, and he'll get it over to the corner, and another lazy shot. Nice stick save there by Wagner, and Fletcher Anderson now has it. Battle for the puck behind the net, and that puck squirts free. Here's another chance for the Blue Devils, and a shot, and that hits the leg, and a stoppage in play here. And I think they're going to get a pointer for slashing. That's going to be Fletcher Anderson going to be heading to the penalty box for the Pointers at the 10:40 mark here. UW-Stout with another serious chance here at adding to their 1-0 lead, and this is a team that is, like I said, absolutely elite in the power play. 8 goals on the season while in the power play. 8 for 23 are the Blue Devils. And Hart now flips it back to Perez. Perez to Diakarwa. Diakarwa, one of those feisty players for these Blue Devils squad. Diakarwa now with it. Nice stick there by Fader as the Pointers can't get it out of the zone, but good defense there by Fader as Hart gets it over to Diakarwa, surveying behind the net. Good defense by Stevens Point as the puck is stuck by the referee, and it can't get out of the zone. And here come the Pointers now, a 2-on-1 opportunity. Here comes Jordan Fader, and he hits the deck. He blows a tire. Here comes Fader, past the shot. Nope, a shot, and a beautiful save there by Green. Oh, man, there was a 2-on-1 opportunity for Stevens Point, but Fader blows a tire, and he falls down. That gives the Blue Devils a chance to catch up, and that just shut down that opportunity there for Stevens Point. A chance maybe at a shorthanded goal, but they can't cash in, and Green will just dump the puck behind his own net, get it to Gunnar Moore, and now it'll find the stick of Trenton Haight, and he'll get it back to Moore, and here come the Blue Devils. Moore gonna quickly get it up the ice, bank pass to his teammate Keller. Keller has the early goal on the night. Quick one-timer, but a leg in the lane, and Stevens Point clears it out of the zone. And, you know, this is an area we were talking about. Stevens Point struggled in the power play, but they are as good as it gets on the penalty kill. They have only given up 1 goal in the power play this season, so this is good power play ability by the Blue Devils on elite penalty kill. There was a chance for a rebound, but nobody home, and a shot's going to go up and stay in play. Nope, it will go. And another stoppage in play. I think they're going to, yep. No, they're going to say on high sticking, I believe. No, I'm not entirely quite sure what the stoppage in play there was there. I think it went out of the zone, but 8:44 to go here in this first period. Pointers successfully kill off the penalty. So they get rid of what was a very promising start here for UW-Stout, a chance to add to their 1-0 lead, but that elite penalty kill does their job. And here come the Blue Devils trying to get it into the zone. Is Giambani. And now a bank pass up the ice. Here comes Witherspoon. Witherspoon going to have to put on the brakes, and now he'll bank pass it over to Moline. Moline going to lose it. Here's Fletcher Anderson, gets it up to the top to David Hill. David Hill with a one-time wrist shot, nothing doing. Nice save there by Green. Green has been looking very impressive in this opening period, and that puck is not going to hit the ceiling. That was very close to it. And here comes Stevens Point as that pass goes wide and no icing. That'll be waved off, and now the Blue Devils will quickly get the puck down the ice. Oh, what a nice pass, but it actually goes right back to him as Darakawa now with it. As he'll get it over to Perez. Perez surveying, quickly gets it up to the ice to his teammate. Here goes Reyes. Reyes is going to go get taken down by Hennigan. Ooh, there was a chance at a call there, nothing doing. Stevens Point now on the push. Here comes Tyler German. German going to put on the brakes, fake the pass to the slot. Now we'll get it to the slot. Northey with it. That pass is intercepted behind the net by Hade. Darakawa now with it. That was a dangerous pass that gets right back to Darakawa, and here comes Stout as they're going to get it out of their own defensive zone, and it gets back onto the stick of German, but that hits the skate of Northey and goes out of the zone. Moberg going to tap it over to Hummerstone, and here comes Stevens Point. They go up the ice now over to Stewart, who just dumps it into the zone, and Stevens Point is not playing as aggressive as they do in the beginning here. I don't know if it's, you know, the air was sucked out of the arena with that first shot, or excuse me, that first score by UW-Stout, a one-time shot, and that puck flies up in the air off the pad of the goaltender Green and finds its way to Hade. Now Hade with the bank pass off the slide to Pulias, and Pulias can't find it, now finds it to the stick of Breminis. And here comes Stout. Stout on the move, and that pass is intercepted. And here comes Moberg. Moberg a chance for a 1-on-2. Now it'll be a 1-on-3. He's got no help there and loses control of it. And a turnover by Stevens Point gives it right back to Stout. So nice glove save there by the goaltender Wagner. But Stevens Point has played a very sloppy game up to this point. And it shows as UW-Stout was able to capitalize on that early mistake and sneak one by Ryan Wagner. We got a media timeout here we got a media timeout here at the 6-minute mark here. 6 minutes left here in this opening period. Again, UW-Stout on top of Stevens Point, 1-0. You know, other action that happened around here in the Stevens Point area the past couple days. On Wednesday, we had the women's basketball action. We had that here on SPTV. It was a really hard-fought game, which saw a good performance by both sides. Stevens Point took on St. Norbert, and Stevens Point at one point was down 12-2 and came back, took a 13-12 lead in the first quarter, and really outplayed St. Norbert for the entire game up until the final minute, where St. Norbert had 8 unanswered points, which ultimately gave them the 55-50 win and the Pointers fall to 3-1 on the season, but they'll be back in action in Berg Gym on Shirley Egner Court tomorrow as they take on St. Mary's of Minnesota. A chance to get back in the win column, a team that has started off the season really defying a lot of experts, as Stevens Point was picked to finish second and last in front of UW-Platteville, excuse me. That shot is blocked by the Blue Devils. Now behind the net is Brady Smith, and it looked like Smith was hooked. Somebody loses a glove, and Stevens Point's Jake Tice has it, and he turns it over, and Moore with it. Now Moore loses it. And fighting for it in the corner is Hart behind the net. Bank pass to Stewart. And now the Blue Devils are cleared out of the zone, and Stevens Point's going to have to reset. No more football this season. UW-Stevens Point finished out their regular season and a chance for a 2-on-1. Here now a 2-on-2 as Moline closes, and a shot. Nice block there by Moline, and looking for a rebound there were the Blue Devils. That was number 4, Matt Fottle. Another shot behind the net. Now Armatario with it for Stevens Point. And Armatario gets pinned behind the sideboards, and now he loses control of it as Fottle fighting with Finstrom with it. And now it finds the stick of Armatario, and Stevens Point looking to just clear it out of the defensive zone here. By far the aggressor in this one has definitely been UW-Stout, and it shows as they have that 1-0 lead here. But this has been a very impressive first period. I know it's just a 1-0 lead, but it definitely could be more based on how Stout has been playing. They have been executing extremely well, even to the point of just making good line changes. It comes down, to all the little things in game. When we talk about just in basketball, you got to get your rebounds, you got to make your free throws. In hockey, you got to execute in the power play, and you got to execute in the penalty kill, and you got to make good line changes, because if you have awkward line changes, that can result in not good placement on both offensive sides or defensive sides, which can result in goals and whatnot. There's a chance, and a shot and a score by David Hill as he just sneaks the puck over top of the goaltender Green. Oh my goodness, I couldn't even see it go into the net. It was so quickly shot off the stick of David Hill. What a play as Stevens Point knocks this one up. 1-1 here as we hit the 4 minutes and 11-second mark here. What a play by David Hill, as it was a 2-on-1 situation. It was almost a lazy type shot that he just sneaks it right over the right shoulder of the goaltender Green, and that knocks the game up 1-1. Big time play there by David Hill as he ties this one up, and Stevens Point sneaks a little bit of that momentum back. And it was almost kind of a shocking play, as even the crowd didn't even know what happened exactly. There's a shot on goal, and that puck will fly out of play. The crowd, half of them really didn't. They were a lot like me, weren't sure that the puck was going into the net. But a big-time goal by David Hill ties this one up 1-1 here. What a play here. 1-1 in the first period. Stevens Point, big-time goal here. We're back at a brand new hockey game here. Not that it was a different game, but big time play there by the Pointers' David Hill. More with it. He's going to do a quick time shot, and that one just goes wide. A chance for a rebound there in the area was McKiss Bramiss, and that was a chance there for for Stout with a chance for another goal, but it just goes wide. Fletcher Anderson fighting for in the corner. Tyler German down there as well. Quickly getting it up to the top is Carter Rue, a one-timer. That goes nowhere, and here comes Stout on the move. Halverson with it. Halverson with some fancy stick movement, and that one goes off of the stick and gets back to Armatario, and Stevens Point with it, and Armatario is going to do a bank pass to Wilson Northey, but that pass is intercepted and now finds the stick of Hart on the move. Here comes Noah Perez. Shot up front, nice block there by Smith, and that goes off the stick. Here comes Stevens Point with it. Now it goes behind the net, skips and tries to get it over to Jordan Fader. Fader now stuck with it behind the net. He's getting pressured there by John Giambani. In the corner are the Pointers now with it stuck in the corner. Finally gets off the stick, and it gets it to number 17 for the Blue Devils, Connett, but that is going to get out of the zone, and Stevens Point. So Wagner will step out of the net, and Sam Ide now with it will have the offense cooking here. Ide almost loses it out, quickly gets it over to Finstrom. Now Finstrom on the move. Finstrom going to slow it down, pass up front, and that one is too wide. Setting up for probably a bank pass, a pass off the pads of the goaltender, but here come the Blue Devils, and they're going to get called for being offsides. So we'll have a face-off here at center ice. It was very close here. That was very close play that they get called. And, you know, we talk about how sometimes there's some controversial calls, but I always like to point out that these refs are pros for a reason, and obviously they know a little bit more. And you'll be able to do your research on whether or not it's a good game. You can watch the full game back here on SBTV once the broadcast is over. And once again, you can listen in to your broadcast so you're on the go to 90 FM. Turn it on to your car's radio. I know I do, listening to jam into music. Here comes Stevens Point in the corner. Fletcher Anderson with it behind the net. Tries to get it over to Connor Witherspoon, and they do get it, and they poke it out of the zone, and the Blue Devils will have to reset here as Haid now with it. Banks tried to do a bank pass to himself, but he gets taken out by Anderson, and now fighting for it in the corner. We approach the 90-second mark, and there's a shot that's going to be gobbled up by the goaltender Wagner. Great play there by Ryan, and he stops that offensive threat there by UW-Stout. Raylis and Moore going to check in along with Stewart for the Blue Devils as Karatawa is out there along with Sayre. Now this, and I talk about how you got to play almost an elite and perfect game against this Blue Devils offense, this Blue Devils team, and I think that point still remains despite it being a 1-0 game. But there's definitely a different feel to both squads here on the ice, because for about the first 15 minutes, UW-Stout was quite really dominating this game. And it wasn't until that laser by David Hill, which tied the game up. Now, Stevens Point really had no momentum at all in this one. They looked almost deflated. There was no energy in the arena, and the goal has really kind of made things get a little electric in here once again. And here comes Stevens Point. David Hill with it. He's going to move it up the ice quickly, staying on side. Now, Isaac Moberg going to go in the corner and team up against the Blue Devils' Hart, and clearing it out of the zone and getting over to Karatawa, and he's going to try to get it up the ice and slow things down. Dayakawa, bank pass and looking for David Hill. That's going to be a icing waved off, and the Blue Devils green just comes out of the net, pokes it a little bit, and now the Blue Devils will come back here on the offense. Just about 30 seconds to go here in this first period. 1-1 Stevens Point tied with UW-Stout, and that dangerously pops up into the air, but Wagner pokes it away. Nice save there by the goaltender for Stevens Point. Stevens Point going to try to clear out of the zone, and they just do, I believe. And the Blue Devils will now have to reset, and here come the Blue Devils. A shot on goal, and there's a lot of traffic up front, and that one goes wide. Hummerstone going to try to get it out of the zone and just staying in here. 5 seconds to go here in the first period. 4, 3, 2, 1, and a shot on goal and a save by Wagner, and that is how this first period ends, as UW-Stevens Point and UW-Stout find themselves deadlocked here in this opening period. It is 1-1 here after one, and a really exciting first period of hockey action here in KB Willett Arena, and we're going to take our first break and go into the first intermission. You are listening and watching to Pointers Hockey here on WWSP, Stevens Point 90 FM, and SPTV. We will see you in about 15 minutes, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And a welcome back here to KB Willett Arena and UW-Stevens Point hockey here on WWSB Stevens Point 90 FM and SPTV. We have a great one for you here today, folks. A 1-1 game here after one. Stevens Point and UW-Stout deadlocked after an incredibly competitive first period. If we look at the stats by both sides, this has been a almost identical game for both sides. Obviously the 1-1 score, I'm thinking yeah, it's 1-1. But you look at shots, Stevens Point had 12 in the first period. UW-Stout had 15 penalty-wise. UW-Stevens Point had one, and that was Fletcher Anderson. He was smacked with the hooking call. And for UW-Stout, Matt Fottle got a hooking call as well. Both sides' penalty kill units came up clutch when they needed it, and they shut that down, and it still remains a 1-1 game. And David Hill had an unassisted goal, the first unassisted goal on the season for Stevens Point, an outstanding laser where he just beat the goaltender Green, and that is why we have a 1-1 game here. Now Stevens Point looking to capture back that momentum after this first intermission as we are underway and back to hockey action here. Stevens Point, once again, they come into the season. They are 2-1-3, looking to get their first WIAC Conference win of the season. In their home opener, UW-Stout looking to play spoiler on opening day for the Pointers. Here comes Stout on the push. That's number 13, Alex Stuckert. And Stuckert's going to lose it, and that's going to go back into the defensive zone for UW-Stout. Now, like I said, that was really a tale of two periods, and I know it was just one period, but for the longest time, Stout was playing it, and they were playing with how they are, an incredibly aggressive offensive and defensive team, and they had the 1-0 lead for about 15 minutes until Stevens Point got one back, and here's another shot on goal, and that one flutters in front of the goaltender, and that's going to be a penalty on Stevens Point, as that is going to be on Tyler German, I believe. They're going to get him for hooking, as we're at 19:07 here in this in this second period. So Tyler German is going to head to the penalty box, and this elite power play unit by UW-Stout is going to get their second chance here. And like I said, you got to get all the fundamentals done here. And for Stevens Point, you cannot keep sending guys to the penalty box, because eventually this stout power play, will make it pay. And if Stevens Point's not careful, that could happen sooner than later. But here comes Stout on the push, but nice aggressive play up the ice there by Jordan Fader. And here comes Stout now on the push. Gunnar Moore going to flip it up the ice, and Sam Eid is just going to quickly try to get it out of the zone, but keeping it in the zone for the Blue Devils is Dahlside. Dahlside fighting for it in the corner, and Eid guns it out of the zone. Great play there by Eid. Green will hand it off behind the net to his teammate. Here come the Blue Devils again. Trenton Hade now going to quickly try to get it off the ice, and Stevens Point now with it, and Tyler German's just going to gun it down to the other side. So Stevens Point penalty kill doing their job so far as we approach the 1 minute remaining here in the power play, as now Hyde will quickly get it up the ice to his teammate in Diakawa. Raylis calling for it. Now Raylis slows it down, and Stout's going to get the offense set up, but a nice interception there by Harrison Stewart, and he dumps it out of the zone. Good play by Stevens Point here in this second penalty kill opportunity. Like we said, they have only given up one goal in the power play this entire season. They have just been absolutely elite, and it is a confusing start as a 2-1-3 record may seem. They have just been outstanding in the penalty kill. 25 seconds left here in this second power play for UW-Stout here. On the push are the Blue Devils, and here comes Perez. Perez going to put on the brakes, and trying to get out of the zone is David Hill. Hill fighting with Perez along the sideboards, and a nice check by Stewart as the puck squirts free, and now Isaac Moberg has it, and he'll get it out of the zone, and Stevens Point is 5 seconds away from killing off the second penalty of the night.
Pointers.
Back to full strength as Brady Smith comes out onto the ice, and here comes the Blue Devils, but a nice poke check there by Omatario stops the offensive threat there, as there was a chance at a one-on-one opportunity and a shot up front, and hitting the deck was Connor Witherspoon, and I think they're going to get the Blue Devils for a penalty on this rear. And I think, yes, they will. They're going to get one of the captains, I believe. Nope, they're going to get number 4, Matt Fottle, on the penalty. That's his second one of the night. And the official call coming here by the referee at center ice. I'm going to say hooking again. That's his second one of the night. Stevens Point now with a chance to grab the lead if they're able to cash in on this power play. 3 for 21 on the season are the Pointers. An area where, you know, this is an incredibly talented team, but they have struggled mightily in power play opportunities. Andrew Polias is going to go on the draw for Stevens Point. He's going to go against Peyton Hart, and Hart is going to win the face-off, and now the Blue Devils are going to try to clear out of the zone, and Mick Hennigan's just able to keep it in. No, he loses it, and the Blue Devils clear. Wagner's going to come out of the net, but Hart is going to come out, and Witherspoon runs into the referee, and he can't get it. But now here comes Anderson quickly getting it up the ice. A bank pass to Andrew Polias, and a chance up front, and a shot and a stop by the goaltender, Green. Oh, what a play there by Green, as there was a wide open net, but trying to go 5-hole were the Pointers, and he just easily stops that with the pads, and it remains a 1-1 game. That was a chance, ladies and gentlemen, for it being a 2-1 lead for Stevens Point. Oh man, what a play there by the goaltender. Polias again taking on Dayakawa this time, and Polias wins the face-off one-timer shot. Another pad save by the goaltender, as the Blue Devils are going to try to clear, but Fletcher Anderson aggressively playing in the power play. He's going to bang pass it over to Witherspoon, who will get it back to Fletcher Anderson, gets to Jordan Fader, and Polias can't keep it on the stick, and the Pointers lose it in the zone, but the Blue Devils intercept that pass. This is an area now to Stevens Point with a chance for a 2-on-1 opportunity. Hennigan over to Witherspoon. Witherspoon with a shot, and that one goes wide out of the zone, and a little fighting afterwards, pushing and shoving and nothing doing, but a nice save there. And all are off the ice, no substitutions allowed. Linesman Schroeder coming in and saying, nope, no line changes until we get a face-off. And now they flip sides as they both wind up on the wrong sides. Finstrom going to face off against Dayakawa here, and that face-off is won by Dayakawa, and Stout's going to look to try to clear. Omatario is going to pick up the open puck, and he's going to shoot it, and that one goes wide. A chance for a rebound for German, but he didn't see it. And Stevens Point now is going to have the offense set up once again. Omatario surveying, gets it to Finstrom, that top to Smith. Smith going to fake the one-timer, now gets it over to Hill on the bank pass behind the net, gets it over to German. German with instant pressure in his face. And now David Hill with it, gets it up top to the open man, Brady Smith, but he can't hold onto the puck. Omatario now with it, gets it back over to Brady Smith. One-timer shot up front by German, and that's a block by the goaltender. Beautiful play there by using the pads. Finstrom going to get it behind the net to Smith. Smith surveying, now gets it back to Finstrom. Finstrom with it at the top for Stevens Point. Good pressure here by the Blue Devils, as Stevens Point has around 14 seconds left on this power play. Brady Smith now with it, surveying, going to hand it off to David Hill. Hill with it, now up front. A lot of traffic here for Stevens Point, but no shot taken. Hill with it, gets it behind the net to Finstrom, and the Blue Devils are back at full strength. Man, and Stevens Point is instantly going to get called for a penalty. Yikes. Just quite frankly, a bad power play there by Stevens Point, as they really didn't get much shots out of the goal, and they follow that up by a slashing. Oh my goodness. Now Stout with a chance. After they successfully kill off a penalty, they're a chance to try to get the lead once again. Noah Finstrom, the guilty party for Stevens Point, as on the face-off is going to be tied up as Perez was fighting for it, and that's going to be quickly dumped out of the zone by Stevens Point. You know, a point I wanted to make here is this UW-Stout team is, if you're just tuning in, they have 8 goals in the power play this season. They are 8 for 24 so far after Stevens Point killed off the first one. They are just an incredibly talented offensive team, and they have 8 goals in the power play. And actually, they have 3 shorthanded goals on the season. So they not only are they good in the power play, but for whatever reason, the hockey gods decided that UW-Stout was going to be good down a man. Here comes a chance up front, but they cannot keep the puck on the stick. Good shot there, and that one goes high. And just trying to get it out of the zone end, Wilson Northey does it. But yes, all joking aside, this UW-Stout team offensively is a juggernaut whenever they have the puck on their stick. Regardless if they're up a man, down a man, full strength, this squad is just so good at putting the puck into the net. And here's a quick shot, and that one goes off of a pointer and falls down harmlessly. And now Andrew Polias is going to just slap it out of the zone. Line change here as Jake Tice subs in. So does Armatario and Jordan Fader. So Stevens Point doing good so far, keeping fresh legs here on the ice. Quickly getting over to Diakawa, and that shot is going to go across wide as Hennigan going to try to keep it out of the zone, and Hart now with it, and it goes out of the offensive zone for the Blue Devils, and now they're going to have to reset here. 1-1 is the score. Stevens Point and UW-Stout tied up here as we get to the 13-minute point here in this second period of regulation. Diakawa quickly up the ice. Another shot on goal, and that one goes about 10 feet out of play. Nice aggressive play by both sides. 10 seconds away for Stevens Point and killing off this second penalty. Like I said, if you're just tuning in, don't want to sound like a broken record, but Stevens Point's penalty kill on the season has been outstanding. Only given up 1 goal, and with 10 seconds left, they're in shape of forcing opponents to go 1 for 17, but obviously there's still 10 seconds left, and anything can happen, especially when you're playing one of the best offensive teams in the country. Face-off won by Stout. Stewart now with it. Stuckert, excuse me, now over to Moore. Moore with it, some fancy stick work, and here comes Cody Moline with it. Now Cody Moline with a chance for a breakaway. Cody Moline fighting for it, and he loses it. And now Stevens Point's aid with it. Finstrom comes back in, and now the Blue Devils have it again as Finstrom pokes it away, and now he gets it back onto his stick. Here comes Moline, and Moline with the shot, and that one goes wide. Oh, there was a golden opportunity for Stevens Point, and they lose it. Here come the Blue Devils, though. Dahlquist cannot hold on to it, and he loses it. Excuse me, Dahl's side. Here comes Fletcher Anderson. Anderson with the shot, and he hits the crossbar. No. Oh, they're going to say it went in. Oh, my. Oh, I thought for sure it just hit the crossbar. But regardless, Stevens Point gets the goal, and that is a 2-1 lead here. Green is pleading his case. It looked like that only hit crossbar to me. Regardless, ref says it gets to the back of the net, and it's a 2-1 Stevens Point lead. Big time play here as the Pointers finally grab the lead for the first time tonight. Man, that is the second time tonight that the goal that Stevens Point gets has just been one that I don't want to say is controversial, but one that was abnormal, I think is a good word. And now Stevens Point, you can see they are just playing with all kind of momentum as Armatario is able to get the goal, and a beautiful pad save there by Wagner as the Pointers trying to clear it. And here comes Stewart on the move, and Stevens Point with a chance at a 2-on-1, but they muffle it. And here come the Blue Devils on it. So Armatario and Hill, Pointers who put the puck in the net, or suggest that they put the puck in the net. I'm still not sure. I do need glasses up here, so that may be a reason I may not be able to see. David Hill now with it, and Hill's going to poke it, and that's going to go across the ice. No icing going to be called here as Jimbani now with it behind the net. Diakawa going to get it out of the zone, and not able to keep it in was Mick Hennigan, and here come the Blue Devils. Sayre with it. Sayre got a nice pass to the slot to Reyes, but nothing doing. Rue going to fight into the corner with Jimbani. Aid with a nice poke check behind the boards, and it gets back onto the stick to Sayre. Keeping it in the zone is Perez. He quickly sends it back around and not able to keep it on the stick was Perez, but Reyes now with it. Nice poke, nice side check there by Aid. And again, now trying to fight for it behind the net. Oh, a shot up front. And a ref jumping up into the air. A little interesting there is the puck went into the hand of Ryan Wagner, but one of the linesmen hits the deck. As maybe he was thinking a shot was going right at him. Maybe he tripped, who knows. But he gets up, all smiles on his face. And after that one, you gotta love it. And a face-off going to be won by Finstrom. Armatario is going to clear it, and here comes Jake Tice. Tice is going to be on the move, and now Tice is going to poke it up front. A shot up to the slot, and Smith couldn't get to it in time, and the puck is going to exit the zone, and Stevens Point's going to have to reset. Pass back over to Armatario, and he's going to just dump it into the zone, and that's going to go behind the net and being picked up behind the net by Noah Perez, and that's going to exit the zone. Got to hustle. Here comes Stevens Point. A chance for Hart. Hart with a shot, and a nice pad save there by Wagner. Man, what hustle down the ice by Hart, Peyton Hart, as he was about 5 feet behind the closest pointer, and he just out-hustled them straight down the ice and had a shot on goal there. What a play there. I mean, like I said, this is just an electric offense to watch here for the Blue Devils. A 3-on-3 chance here. Quickly moving up the ice and no offsides. I thought maybe there was a chance at it, and I think icing is going to be the call. If Fader can get to it, no, he can't, but the Blue Devils instead are going to get it, and that may be an icing call, and it absolutely will. 9:41 to go here in this second period, as both sides are just battling in this one, as it remains a 2-1 Stevens Point lead after Armatario sneaks one through, and it goes around the top of the net and squirts out. It really seemed like he hit the crossbar of the net and it went out, but no, it was a goal, and Stevens Point's got a 2-1 lead here. And now this is the tricky part that they've struggled with. Obviously they had the lead against St. Olaf, but they were not able to hold on to it. Another shot on goal, but a lot of traffic in the lane there, and the Blue Devils stopped that offensive threat for Stevens Point. But for Stevens Point, they had the 5-3 lead over St. Olaf, and they just were not able to hold on. St. Olaf put up a 3 spot in the third period, which tied it, and then they went into overtime, and it ended up in a tie. A chance up front, and Moline with a shot in a redirect there by the goaltender, and the puck squirts free, and now Fletcher Anderson with it. Witherspoon going to slow things down and go a little spin move, get it behind the net, and try to get it to Moline. Moline now with it. Moline hits the deck, ooh, a little awkwardly, as the puck now gets it to Hennigan. Hennigan with a quick wrister, and that goes nowhere. Sam Aid now with it. Aid going to quickly flip it behind the net to Isaac Moberg. Moberg puts on the brakes. Nice pass to the slot. Now Aid with it. Here's a slap shot by Aid, and that's a block there by the goaltender, Green. Quickly getting it up top to Aid. Aid with another wrister. That one goes wide. Hitting the deck there was Moberg. A lot of traffic up in front of the UW-Stout goal, but the Pointers are just playing such aggressive offense here in this second period. Here's another chance, and David Hill going to try to do almost a spin move, turnaround slap shot, nothing doing. Sam Ide with it. Now he will have it and corral it, get it up to Isaac Moberg, who had a swing and a miss. Here comes Hennigan on a one-timer. That shot is way too wide, and Stevens Point is now going to have to reset. Now Isaac Moberg behind the net. He does a pass up to the slot. Nice shot there by David Hill, and another chance up front. Oh my goodness, it hits the post. And Stevens Point had another opportunity for a score, but it just hits the post, and this time it stays out. No one looked for a little cross-checking, nothing doing. That was UW-Stout looking for that. Wilson Northey with it, gets it over to David Hill. Armatario with it. Armatario with a shot, and nice glove save there by Green. Oh my goodness. Plenty of opportunities there for Stevens Point, but they cannot cash in, and it remains a 2-1 game. Man, you have got to credit the goaltender Dawson Green on that one. That was 3 or 4 chances there where this is a 3-1 game, and who knows what happens. If you listen to our broadcasts here a lot, my partner Liam Stats likes to say, the most dangerous lead in hockey is the 2-goal lead, because you get complacent, and a lot of times you worry on whether or not your team's really going to just be like, oh, we got a 2-goal lead, we can relax a bit. But for Stevens Point, you know, this is a team, like we said, they have struggled with holding on a lead, but you got to think if they're able to make this a 3-1 game, that would really suck the life out of this UW-Stout team, and that would give them all the momentum. I mean, they have the momentum as it is, but it would almost kind of take the air out of this Stout side. Regardless, we got about 7:27 to go here in this second period. A reminder, you're listening here to Pointers Hockey on WWSP, Stevens Point 90 FM, as well as we're being broadcasted live on SPTV's YouTube channel. Ryan Kreft doing a great job, as always, at the camera work. Face-off tie-up and a shot on goal there, as that was up front there by Stevens Point. It really wasn't going to go anywhere, as David Hill with it. Quentin Hill, excuse me. Nice check there on the boards by the Pointers. Wilson Northey going to try to get it to Tyler German. Quentin Hill fighting for it at the top, and now Brady Smith will get it from time. No, he won't. Armatari with it. That wrister is going to go about 20 feet too high and out of play. Stevens Point has been by far the aggressor here in this second period, and you know, statistically, we can't say how many shots on goal there have been this period, but after this, I will suspect that Stevens Point will be on top. They have just been aggressive this entire period and had the puck in the offensive zone for essentially the entire period. As we have 6:57 to go here, Stevens Point on top, 2-1. On what was a laser shot by David Hill in the first period, a unassisted goal, and then a play there by Nicholas Almontario, which gave Stevens Point the lead. A really awkward-looking shot, but nonetheless, Stevens Point has the 1-score lead, as Ryan Wagner just trying to stay warm there on the other side, as he just hasn't seen action in close to like 5 minutes. He's just trying to stay warm, trying to stay limber, try to do anything to stay into the game, but credit Wagner, after giving up that first goal in the early stages of this game, he has played an outstanding game so far through about a period and a half. And a little conversation on the Stout side. Looks like head coach Mike McDonald wanted a word with the lines judges. Nothing doing, and a face-off is going to be won. And now behind the net comes Noah Finstrom. Nope, that was Jake Tice, and now Hummerstone with it, going to hand it off to Finstrom. Moline trying to get it, and now here come the Blue Devils on the offensive attack. Bank pass up the ice to Hart. Hart can't get it. Now Tice with it. He's going to try to get it across the ice to Fader. And that pass is going to be intercepted by Jumbani and sent behind the net as Wagner comes out to play it. Hummerstone now with it. Here come the Pointers on the move. Hummerstone's going to flip it into the zone. Coming out of the net to play it as dangerously is Green, and Green will just kind of slap it up front. Fader now behind the net. And Stevens Point, oh man, for a moment looked like there were too many players on the ice, as a shot there by Point is gobbled up and falls out of the glove of Green. There's a player without a stick. Good play there by Hyde, as he really, despite having a stick, put pressure on the play there. Andrew Poulias loses the puck, and oh man, could have gotten slapped with a slashing there, but nothing called. And just on sides are the Blue Devils. Instead, they're going to they have to get it out of their defensive zone. Back to center ice, David Hill blew a tire. Sam Ide now with it. Ide going to have it behind the net. A bank pass up to Andrew Poulias, and Stevens Point going to try to get it up the ice as Isaac Moberg is tied up top with Jacob Halverson. On the push, here comes Grimace. Grimace with it. Nice stick there in the lane by Armatario, and he intercepts that pass and now tries to get it up the ice. Good play there by Stevens Point, and here comes an opportunity, but a nice pass up there by the Blue Devils keeps it in the zone. Here come the Blue Devils. Oh, nice stick there in the lane. There was definitely a chance there for UW-Stout if they're able to keep the puck in their possession. Here's a shot up top by Armatario, and that one goes wide. Nice pad save by the goaltender. Shot up front. Another chance for Stevens Point, and another pad save by Green. Pass to Hill, over to Anderson. Anderson going to get it over to Witherspoon. Witherspoon to Anderson. Now to Armatario. Anderson behind the net, gets it over to Moline. Moline can't get it, and that puck is going to be sent out of the zone by Brendan Boyce. Brady Smith now with it, gets it over to Anderson, but a nice interception there by Boyce, and now the Blue Devils have the puck. Stevens Point with it in the defensive zone here. First action Wagner has seen in quite a while. Fighting for it in the corner is Wilson Norley, one of the captains for the Stevens Point team. Oh, Massey just had a swing and a miss on that one as the puck just skipped right off of the blade of his stick. And now they're trying to get an outlet pass up to Wilson Northey, and Witherspoon is going to be taken down, and that shot is going to go wide and entering it into the offensive zone for Stevens Point, but the Blue Devils now have the puck on their stick. Here comes Moore with it. Rayless now. Behind the net, German has it. Now does a bank pass up to Northey. That pass is intercepted. 2-on-1 opportunity. One-timer and a score by Diakawa. He puts one right in the 5-hole, beats Wagner, ties this one up 2-2. What a play there by Diakawa. One-timer just beats Wagner right through as he beats him 5-hole. And now we have a tie game here in KB Willett Arena. Oh my goodness, big time play there for the Blue Devils. Do not give these guys opportunities as this UW-Stout bench is just giving it to Wagner. As we have a 2-2 game here. And now Stevens Point trying to get the momentum right back as icing will be the call on Stevens Point. And now we were talking about it, how this UW-Stout team offensively, they will attack you in all kinds of ways there. And what a unique way to score. What a play. UW-Stout ties this one up. What a play by Diakawa. Now Hart and Finstrom going to battle here. Face off, going to be a tie up, but it's going to squirt free, and now Hummerstone has it. Hummerstone going to get it up to Tice. Here comes Jake Tice. Tice with an opportunity. That shot one goes too high. Stick in the lane has that one skip up, go out of play. Stevens Point and UW-Stout tied 2-2 here. 2:59 to go here in the second period. Big time hockey here in KB Willett Arena. Finstrom, and it's gonna win the face-off here, and now the Blue Devils are on the attack. Dalside loses it. Here comes the Blue Devils now with it. Behind the net is Halverson. Halverson loses it. Stewart now with it for Stevens Point, and now the Pointers are gonna do a little bank pass up the ice as Harrison Stewart going to do a pass to himself, gets it behind the net to Tice. Andrew Polias with it, now gets it back to Harrison Stewart as he fights for it in the corner, and now Halverson with it. Halverson loses it, and now Stevens Point, no, neither Stevens Point or UW-Stout can control it, but now Andrew Polias now with it, and here comes Stevens Point. Mick Hennigan slows things down, and now surveying, nice pass, and that one hits the side of the net. On a shot, maybe. Here comes Polias. Polias going to get a one-timer up to Hennigan, and a pass, a shot up front. There was a chance for Stevens Point, but nothing doing, and it remains a 2-2 game. What a game here so far. UW-Stout scores first. All the momentum is in their favor. Then Stevens Point counters, makes it a 1-1 game. They score first here in the second period. Stevens Point has all the momentum, and then Stout puts one in and sucks all the energy out of this arena here. What a game between two very good teams here. Sam Aid, oh, he cannot keep it on the stick. And that one goes out of the zone, and Stevens Point is going to have to reset as Isaac Moberg now gets it up to Hennigan, and Hennigan's going to get over to Ide, and Ide going to go up the ice to Moberg with a nice check there along the boards by Moore. Here come the Blue Devils. Derekawa had the goal here for the Stout Blue Devils. Raylis wisely slows it down, now just flips it into the zone. And Raylis going to go after it aggressively. Bank pass over Ormatario. Bank pass up to David Hill. Now Polias with it. Polias is just going to dump it into the zone and raised and Looks like I think they're going to get Steve. Nope, I think they're going to get UW-Stout for a penalty. And I think they're going to get number 5 for slashing, I believe. Yep, Stevens Point for the rest of this period is going to get a power play opportunity. 3 for 22 on the season, but a chance to get the momentum back after Stout has sucked the life out of KB Willett Arena. Face-off is going to be won by Stout, and they're going to quickly try to get it out of the zone, but Nick Hennigan does his best to keep it in the zone, and he does. Jordan Fader going to get it behind the net, and it's going to try to find to the stick, and Hart now with it, and here comes Stout. Stout down, man, and they're still going to push it, and there was definitely an opportunity there as Hart takes one to the chin. No call. Like we said, this UW-Stout team has 3 shorthanded goals on the season. This is going to be an aggressive penalty kill unit for UW-Stout, as now Fletcher Anderson has it. He does a pass over to Connor Witherspoon, and now Stevens Point is going to get the offense set up. Omotario with it. There's a pass over into the corner to Witherspoon, and he gets pinned as Jordan Fader now has it. Fader going to get it onto the stick of Fletcher Anderson. 30 seconds to go here in this second period. 2-2 game. Stevens Point and Stout. One-time shot there. Redirect up front and a save by the goaltender Green. One-timer again. Nice block there by the Blue Devils. Fottle. Witherspoon with it. Witherspoon going to get it. One-time shot up at Anderson, and that has another stick save by Green. Oh, what a chance there for Stevens Point, but nothing doing. Good play there by the goaltender Green, as Stevens Point in danger here. I don't want to say they're in danger. They got about 10 seconds left in this second period, but a chance, if they're not able to convert on this one, to be 3 for 23 on the season. And a face-off going to be tie up. There was an open side to the net here. David Hill with it. Now under 5 seconds to go. Nice body in the lane there. Beautiful play there by Peyton Hart. And that is how this period ends. Phenomenal defense for the Blue Devils results in good offense. And they tied this one up 2-2 after Stevens Point took the lead 2-1. So that's how this second period ends. Great block there by Hart, as he sends us to our second and final intermission of this WIAC home opener. Do not go away, everybody. This is an outstanding WIAC hockey game, and you're going to want to see how this one ends. But we're going to have a quick 15-minute break here on 90 FM. You're going to be able to listen to music, so don't go away. We'll be right back. And a welcome back here to KB Willett Arena. We have a barn burner of a game here between the UW-Stevens Point Pointers and the UW-Stout Blue Devils. It is 2-2. You are listening to this broadcast here on WWSP Stevens Point 90 FM, as well as watching this broadcast live here, brought to you by SPTV. What a game so far. This has been really a Wyatt classic so far. Solid defense, solid offense, both sides playing extremely well. And like I said with Stout, if you let them hang around too long, and they will make you pay. Stevens Point had a chance to make it a 3-1 lead and couldn't do it. Stout fights back. It is 2-2 here. We look at a breakdown here in the stats. Overall, obviously goals per period, one in the first period for both, one in the first and one in the second for both sides. But shots per period, only 4 shots that entire second period. You heard me right. 4 shots on goal by UW-Stout that entire second period. A 20-minute span where they had 4 shots on goal, yet this is a tie hockey game here, 2-2. Stevens Point had 15 shots that second period. They have a 27-19 shot advantage here going into this third and final period of regulation. We're going to try to get a opening face-off here, and that is won by Stevens Point, and the Pointers are now on the offensive attack. Puck now goes back to the defensive zone as Ryan Wagner steps out of the goaltender's net to play it. David Hill loses it for a second, now gets back to the stick of Nick Almatario. Finstrom with it, now quickly exiting out of the zone. Stevens Point, if you remember, still in the power play. 6 seconds left in this one as this UW-Stout penalty kill unit continues to just impress on the season. Tyler German with a chance, but he loses it up front. Noah Finstrom fighting for it behind the net. Looking at the scoring, Fletcher Anderson had the goal in the second period, assisted by Nick Omatario. And then Killian Darakawa had the goal, assisted by Caleb Sear and Dylan Reyes. A good, beautiful execution as they beat Ryan Wagner through the 5-hole. It was just an incredibly well-executed play here. And the Blue Devils on the offensive press here as Heyer with it in the corner. Loses it, and Stevens Point trying to get it out of the zone. They do, and now David Hill just gets it back to Brady Smith, who dumps it into center ice, and that's going to be knocked down. And they're going to do we're going to get a stoppage in play here. And I believe Stevens Point is going to be heading to the penalty box. Nope, it was offsides, excuse me.
7-0-2-4-2-8. And for the fan of the game, the winning ticket number is 702-581. 702-581. Winners, please report to the merchandise stand.
Face-off up and coming. And that face-off is won by UW-Stout, but Stevens Point can get it. And now here comes Fletcher Anderson, and a nice poke check there by Halverson. Gets the puck off the stick of Anderson. And now Connor Witherspoon will have to try to get around side the boards to Mick Hennigan, trying to keep it in the zone as Stevens Point. Fletcher Anderson does get it. He pokes it free to Connor Witherspoon. Here comes Stevens Point, a chance up front. And that stick in the lane ends that offensive threat. Ooh, there was something promising. Here comes Cody Moline. A pass to the slot, but nobody there but Blue Devils. And here comes Halverson on the push. Moline steals it, and nobody can keep possession of the puck right now, as neither Stevens Point nor UW-Stout can keep it, and that is going to be an offside. Nope, Stevens Point didn't touch it, and a big-time hit at center ice between Halverson and Moline. Stevens Point with it. Brett Hummerstone now in the zone. Hummerstone gets it behind the net to Fader. Fader looking. Fader going to get it up top to Stewart. Stewart with it. Oh, that shot goes off the side of a Blue Devil. Looks like he kind of felt that one a little bit. That was number 12 for the Blue Devils, Noah Perez. Him to the side, wincing a little bit. And the Blue Devils, a chance for an attack here. 1-on-3, and hitting the deck there was Connett. Nothing doing, no call. About 3 minutes close to being played. Here comes Jordan Fader on the attack. 2-on-2 opportunity here at Stevens Point. That shot is way wide for the Pointers as Fader missed everything. And now the Blue Devils with the chance to get the puck out of the zone, but they can't. Nice interception there by Jake Tice, and Stevens Point loses it out of the zone, and Noah Finstrom is going to have to reset things. Quickly getting the puck up the ice as Jordan Fader now has it. 1-on-2. Here goes Fader, a shot, and that is a pad save, and that goes wide. Nice play there by Green, the goaltender. Andrew Poulias in the corner. He now passes it over to Brady Smith. Smith keeps it in the zone. Pass up front. That goes to nowhere. Finds the stick of number 13, Alex Stuckert, and now the Blue Devils get it into the Pointers' defensive zone. Isaac Moberg, nice move there to get the defender off him, but that pass is intercepted there by Boyce. Boyce fighting in the corner along with Fodl. Puck squirts free. Boyce quickly sends it behind the net. There's nobody back there but David Hill, and Hill gets it out of the zone, and now the Blue Devils are going to have to reset. But Stevens Point fighting for it. Now they get it, and being careful to get on sides here, as Isaac Moberg is not on sides. Ormatario fighting in the corner with Verstegen. Fighting for it, still fighting for it. Isaac Moberg, the puck squeaks free, and Hayde now has it as Boyce with it, looking to get it up out of the zone, as Ormatario intercepts it, and Diakawa up on the other end as well. And Stevens Point trying to get out of the zone. Wilson Northey gets nice block there, by Hyde, and that is going to be a save by the goaltender. So some nice action here as a quick couple 5 minutes, just about 5 minutes come off the clock, and Stevens Point will get a face-off in their offensive zone here. But a really quick beginning to this third period as we have about 15:48 to go here in this one, in this regulation, I should say. Stevens Point and UW-Stout tied up. Stevens Point winning the face-off as now they have the puck in the offensive zone. Behind the net is Rue. Gets it up to Hennigan. Hennigan with a quick shot, and that's going to go wide. And now on the attack is Sear. Blue Devils and Pointers get the puck. Now it's to Tyler German. German going to slash behind the net. German going to try to set the offense up. Nice move there by Tyler German to get open, and he tried to get it to Hennigan in the slot, and that squirts free. Here comes Sear on the move, and the Blue Devils, a nice attack there as Raylis got hit along the sideboards. Nice hip check there by Sam Ade as Rude hits the deck, and nobody can stay on their feet. They try to go to the Ide, and Ide is going to get the puck across center ice, and that's going to find the stick of Moore. Moore for the Blue Devils, going to get it across their offensive zone, and a chance here for Fletcher Anderson for a breakaway, but nice close there by the Blue Devils. Stops Anderson in his tracks, and an easy glove save by the goaltender Green. Oh, what a close there by number 6, Macias Bremes, as he just shut down that offensive possession for Fletcher Anderson by just using his hustle. Has no subs, both players have to go quickly back out on the ice. Moore tried to get a break, but he is going to be escorted right back onto the ice. But what a play there. Just an outstanding defensive effort there by UW-Stout as they closed that Pointers offensive threat. And here's a chance for a one-on-one opportunity. Nice stick movement, by the Blue Devils, but good defensive recovery there by Harrison Stewart. And the Pointers now trying to get the puck as it gets the stick of Fletcher Anderson. Now Anderson going to try to get it out of their defensive zone. And here comes Stevens Point. Cody Moline going to try to get it up to Connor Witherspoon. Witherspoon will not get it. Boyce fighting for it in the corner with him. Moline now with it. Anderson up top to Stewart. Back to Fletcher or Anderson. Now to Stewart, up top, Hummerstone. Hummerstone with a shot, and a pad save. Goes right to the belly of Green. He makes the easy save, and that is just a beautiful play there by the goaltender. Both sides are going to make a line change here. 2-2 is the score, 14:09 to go here in this final period of regulation. Big time WIAC win for either side if they can get the win, as we're going to try to get back to see how WIAC scoring works here in the games. As you know, you obviously get the 3 points for a regulation win, 2 for an overtime win, and you get 1 point in shootouts if you win that way. And looks like the goaltender Ryan Wagner was taken out as the goal goes off of the bearings.
Hey, Pointer fans, show up your Pointer.
Man, that was just a vicious collision.
Exclusively from U.S. Bank.
Yeah, but looking at how points work, so 3 points awarded for a victory, outright victory in regulation, 2 points for a win in overtime or shootouts, and 1 point in a shootout loss or an overtime loss. So if you can get the game to overtime, you're going to get points regardless, but ideally both sides want to win this one in regulation. 3 points to the winner in regulation. So there's a lot at stake here, not only for standings-wise, but, you know, potential NCAA berths. What a big-time win this would be for either side, especially for Stout, a chance to improve to 6-1. Oh, what a look there by Andrew Ploius, as he is fighting up front. David Hill now with it, Aid with a one-timer. That one goes wide. Isaac Moberg lost his stick. Mick Hennigan now gets it, and both pointers are all onside. Hennigan decided to go 1-on-5, which is not a good idea. Regardless, Blue Devils with it, and they now clear it out of their defensive zone. Hennigan with it, now quickly gets it up the ice to Hill. Nobody was there, but nice movement here by Moberg. Moberg gets it back to Hill. Hill with a shot up front. Nice block there by the Blue Devils, and they're going to get it out of the zone. And on the move here, 2-on-2 attack here if they hustle. Just being able to get it onside. Mossy, ooh, beautiful block there by David Hill. And losing it, as now Stevens Point has it. They're going to flip it into their offensive zone and just give a line change here. 12:50 to go here in this third period. Raylis looking for something, nothing being called. Stuckert gets it over to Moore. Moore going to try to get it over to Dakara. Calling for it on the other side was Diakawa. Stuck behind the net now. Both sides can't get it. Diakawa couldn't find it, and now Stevens Point's Finstrom has the puck on his stick, and he's on the move. Here comes Carter Rue with it. Rue is going to get taken down. Oh, man. No call there as Stuckert really literally hooked Rue's arm and just took him down. Now Hummerstone fighting in the corner. Moore, oh, big hit there by Jake Tice on Moore. Takes him down. And now here comes Brady Smith. Smith has the puck. Smith's going in 100 miles an hour. Oh, wraparound shot. Here's a shot up front. And a score by Jake Tice. He gets the rebound and beats the goaltender Green and puts Stevens Point up 3-2. Big time play by Jake Tice. He gets the hard hit along the sideboards and he gets the rebound and puts it in the net. And Stevens Point has the 1 point lead. What a play here. All the momentum coming back to Stevens Point. Big, big time play.
Everybody clap your hands.
Face-off coming up here, and now we'll see how the Blue Devils can answer. The puck is stuck, I believe, on the referee, and now both sides, as Halverson has it for UW-Stout, but they're looking now to put this one back and try to make this a knotted game here, but Stevens Point now has the lead, and they're looking for more. Here comes Witherspoon. Witherspoon on the attack, pass to the slot, dancing up front. Where is the puck? And it is now into the hands, I believe, of the goaltender Green, but Halverson was getting up into the face of Moline. And what is the call that's going on here? Looks like Cody Moline is, I think he's being escorted to the penalty box. And yes, he is. Oh, what a big time. Oh, and I think there's going to be 4-on-4 hockey as Cody Moline heads to the penalty box. And I'm going to check. We'll check on the other number. It's number 6 for the Blue Devils. That's Macias Brimanis, as he heads to the bench. Interesting there. Looked like both sides really kind of got hooked into one another, and slashing going to be called on Polias, by Moline. Interesting call there. Not sure I saw it, but 4-on-4 hockey here as Boyce calls for it behind the net, and now the Blue Devils are going to go on the attack. Hart with it. So despite both sides being on their power play technically, or not necessarily power play, both sides are down a man. It's 4-on-4 hockey here, and couldn't really ask for much more than some dramatic fashion, as this one feels like we're heading towards a dramatic finish. Boyce now with it. Oh, what a fancy puck work there by Boyce as a redirect. Oh, up front. Oh, my goodness. That was a few steps away from being a game-tying goal. Oh my goodness. Inches away. Ryan Wagner is able to keep his composure and just hop on top of it, but oh my goodness. This was just about a 3-3 game here. Face-off won by Moline, and Stevens Point has control the puck, and they're going to exit their defensive zone. Puck now finds the stick of David Hill, and now Stevens Point comes on the attack. Hill with the shot, but a nice stop there by Haiti. Here comes Hayden behind the net, now gets it over to Boyce. Boyce with a bank pass off the side to his teammate Raylis. Raylis is taken down, and David Hill fighting for alongside the boards, and that's going to be stuck and go out of play. 10:39 to go here. Stevens Point, and Stevens Point with the 1-point lead over UW-Stout. What a play there by Stevens Point. Jake Tice just kind of met Johnny on the spot, but that aggressive play rewards him with the goal that gave them the lead. Face-off won by Stevens Point, but it goes towards UW-Stout, and here comes Moore. Moore is going to slow things down, go back in their zone. Nice play there by Fader to be aggressive there. Perez now with it, gets it back over to Moore. Now here comes Stout. Stout on the attack, fancy puck work. Here comes Halverson, and a nice glove save there by Wagner. Oh, what a play there by Ryan Wagner as he just plucked that one out of the air. You can tell this is a lot of emotion in this one. It's tense. Both sides have been fighting, well, literally and figuratively. They have been fighting all game. It has been aggressive play by both sides. Just really well played game. Stevens Point has the 1-point lead though, and they're going to get another face-off coming here. A little too antsy was Finstrom. We're going to have to do it over again. 39 seconds left for 4-on-4 hockey here, and again, we're going to have to do it over. Geez, everybody's a little excited here. They want to get that extra start. What can you blame them? It's just you want to get that free start, but it's not legal here. Perez now gets the puck, go to his stick, and he tries to get over to Moore. And will it stay into the zone? No, it will not. Now Hart is going to have to reset the offense here. Nice poke check there by Finstrom, and a nice hip check there. He just kind of backed into him, almost looked like he was boxing him out in like basketball style. And now Jordan Fader's going to be on the move, and Fader's just going to dump one outside the zone, and Green is going to try to poke it away, and a pass up front, but a nice stick there by Perez, and gets it back into his possession before he loses control of it, gets it over to Moore, and now Hart with it. In the corner, grabbing it is Dulce. Both sides are at full strength here. Both sides, nobody scores, no power play, just 4-on-4 hockey. But it is a 3-2 game. Stevens Point is on top of UW-Stout now with both sides at full strength. Wilson Northey trying to get to Mick Hennigan, but it skips off of his stick. And now the Blue Devils have it, and Ryan Wagner will make a nice pad save and just sit on top of that one, and that will slow things down here, and we'll get a stoppage in play, a media timeout. But what a play there by Noah Finstrom. I know I keep repeating myself, but it was really just Johnny on the spot there, as he was just in the perfect position because he's hustling, and he was able to get the rebound and score, and Stevens Point has the 1-point lead with 9:17 to go here in the third period of regulation. Looking at this one, it is this has been just a incredibly competitive game. Both sides are just laying everything out there, and this is a team in Stout, like we said, 5-1 on the season. They're a team that is not going to go away. So Stevens Point, regardless, they got the 1-point lead. They can't be complacent here. They got to play really good hockey the final 9 minutes and 17 seconds left, and if they can do that, they can get a big time win, not only for WIAC placement standings, but just a big time win for potential NCAA tournament wise, because this is a very good team in UW-Stout. a team that in the pairwise rankings ranks number 3 in the country. Obviously, that's not the official rankings, but statistically, that's by kind of hockey media. UW-Stout is the 3rd ranked team in the country, and that if Stevens Point can get a big time W here today, man, what would that do for their confidence as icing is going to be called on Stevens Point. 9:02 to go here in the 3rd period, but yes, a big time win this would be for either side. It's got just about 9 minutes to go here. If Stevens Point can close this one out, what a big win it would be. But UW-Stout's not just going to fall down and quit. They're going to give Stevens Point everything they can handle to try to come back in this one, and they have shown on many occasions they are more than capable of doing so. Tyler German, and UW-Stout wins the faceoff as Boyce has it. Quick shot there by Raylis, looking for a rebound up front. Another chance and a shot, and oh my goodness, almost a goal, but great recovery there by Wagner. There's a little scuffle afterwards as Wagner was totally out of place, but he uses that quick, almost spider sense that he has to just pounce on top of the puck, and he gets it, and oh my goodness, we are a few inches away from this being a tie hockey game once again. Ryan Wagner coming in clutch, showing why he's a WIAC all-conference goaltender. Face-off tie-up, but UW-Stout will get it, and they're going to still be on the offensive attack behind the net for the Blue Devils. Caleb Sear with it. Now it gets to Diakara. Up top is Boyce. Getting it over to Raylis. Raylis with a shot, and that one goes wide. And no, Fletcher Anderson's going to get it out of the zone. Cody Moline racing up the ice for the Pointers as intercepted. That pass is intercepted by Connor Witherspoon, and now Stevens Point. Nice dodge there by Fletcher Anderson as he just jumps over a Blue Devil. Nice poke there by Hummerstone. Keeps it in the zone for Stevens Point. Approaching 8 minutes to go here. Hummerstone is swing and a miss, and here comes Diakara. Diakara pass up front, and a block there by Stevens Point causes the puck to skip away. There was definitely a chance there for for Stout to try to tie this one up, but great recovery defensively for Stevens Point, shut down that offensive threat. Puck is stuck in the corner as Stewart is hounding the Blue Devils, and here comes Moline. He's going to do a bank pass as he was looking to get it to Anderson, but Jim Bonney intercepts that one and quickly gets it up the ice. And here comes UW-Stout. Brady Smith will break this one up, but behind the net is Bremanis. Hitting the deck there is Polius. Looks like maybe he just blew a tire, and a late call is going to be made here. And a little bit of a scuffle here on the side, so I think Stevens Point is going to get a power play. I do believe. I think Brady Smith is going to be escorted to the penalty box, and Stevens Point's penalty kill is going to have to come up clutch here. 7 minutes and 29 seconds to go here in the 3rd period of regulation. UW-Stout is going to have a power play, and I think they're going to take a timeout here, as it would appear that way. Stevens Point is not going to the bench. And nope, they're not going to take they're not going to take a timeout. Interesting stoppage in play here, but UW-Stout is going to have a power play. Jordan Fader trying to get some answers here from the lines judge, and the lines judge isn't giving him anything. They're going to get either a delay of game, and there's going to be a timeout taken by UW-Stout, as they were going to get either a delay of game or they had to take the timeout. As Verstegen calls the timeout. Really interesting situation there is really, I was wondering, because at first it would seem the Pointers were really set. The penalty kill was already out there and ready to go, but UW-Stout was on their bench, and they weren't really going anywhere. And Stevens Point was just like, what's going on here? How are we going to do this? And I saw the lines judge was saying, you're either going to get a delay of game or you're going to have to call timeout. So UW-Stout calls the timeout. They're going to try to set up this power play, an area where they have been elite this year, but Stevens Point, to their credit, their elite penalty kill has done its job today, but can they do it one more time here and stop UW-Stout here in the later stages of this one? Man, this has been an entertaining game, as much as you could ask for in this one. It is 3-2, Stevens Point on top of UW-Stout in this classic WIAC hockey matchup here. Opening day here in WIAC play, and the face-off coming here between Hart and Finstrom. And Finstrom wins it, but it finds the stick of Perez, quickly getting over to Darakawa. Perez with it, going to get it over back to the pass to the slot, and that pass is intercepted, and here comes Hennigan. Hennigan on the move. Pointer's down a man, going to quickly get it across the ice, get it across the line and get on sides. Hennigan with it behind the net, finds the open man just out back to center ice, and Sam Aid is just going to slow it down and then just dumps it out of the zone. And we get to the 7-minute mark here as Green comes out of his goaltender's box to play it, and Perez with it as Reyes and Darakawa now gets it to Darakawa. Quickly gets it up front. Oh, hitting the deck. There was Pulias, and Stevens Point gets it back across center ice. Perez with it. Perez with the shot. That one goes high, just over the shoulder. Hitting the deck is Wagner, and Stevens Point is able to clear. 6 minutes and 30 seconds left. 1 minute left in the power play. 3-2. Stevens Point on top of UW-Stout, but UW-Stout with a chance here to try to tie this one up with the man advantage here. Halverson with it. Now gets it up top to Dulcade. With it back to Dulcade. Dulcade looking. Dulcade with a shot. Nice block there by Wagner. Gets it back up top to Hade. Over to Moore. Moore with a shot. That one goes wide. Dulcade. Dulcade looking. Pass up front. Halverson. Nice goalie screen, and they miss it. Oh, my goodness. A wide open shot, and they miss. Oh, my goodness. That was a for sure a 3-3 game, and they just missed it. As Jordan Fader going to look for it and just gobbling this one up is Green. But I tell you, folks, that was without question a 3-3 game. You could not get a better look at it, and Stout has it completely miss. I couldn't tell you what happened there, but they just completely miss a wide open opportunity, and we'll see if that comes back to haunt them. Face-off won by Finstrom, and the Blue Devils will get it out of the zone as Moore is going to be on the tack. Reyes is going to have Giambani on with him and hitting the deck there as Harrison Stewart hits the deck, and now Stevens Point's back at full strength. Here comes Noah Finstrom. Giambani on the side. He takes him down. Finstrom can't find it. His stick is caught up in the corner, and Sear now moves it up front to Darakawa, and a shot in a glove save, but a handoff here to Giambani. Nice play there by Green as he keeps the puck in play, and here comes Stucker as the Blue Devils are going to try to move it. Darakawa loses it off his stick. Tice dumps it into the zone, and the Blue Devils will have to reset as Green now just gobbles this one up and takes the losses. Not necessarily the losses, but slows things down. Gives each side a chance to breathe. But man, what a intense third period. 3-2, Stevens Point is on top of UW-Stout. And this is a chance for, if Stevens Point can put one more on the board here, give themselves a 4-2 lead here in within 5 minutes. Could essentially, not necessarily essentially say this was a done deal, but definitely bodes well for if the Pointers can make this a 2-score game here with only 5 minutes to play. Pulias with it. He has a swing and a miss here at center ice. As fighting for it is Moberg, hitting the deck. No offsides here as Wagner comes out from his net to play it. And Smith will just quickly dump it up the ice as Pulias collides with one of the linesmen. Here comes Boyce on the move. He dumps it over to Keller. Keller, remember, he's the first scorer of the game for the Blue Devils, first score period. Stevens Point having to come from behind once again for the 5th time this season. If they're able to do it, this would be their 2nd win if they can come from behind, but we still have 4 minutes and 10 seconds to play. Hennigan with the puck, and Hennigan will dump it out of the zone, and that'll go back onto Stout's side, and they'll be called for icing.
Our partners at BSN Sports, the largest provider of team sports.
So 4 minutes and 2 seconds to go here in this third and final period of regulation. Stout and Point locked up in a heated battle. You're listening to UW-Stevens Point Athletics, UW-Stevens Point Hockey here on 90 FM, as well as broadcasted live on SPTV's YouTube channel. Got to credit Ryan Kreft on the amazing camera work here tonight. He has been giving us some great looks at the action here tonight. Witherspoon with it up top, now loses control of it, and Burmez has it, and he's going to get it behind the net, get it over to Moore. Moore's going to dump it back to Stuckert, but Stuckert couldn't get it, and now fighting for it in the corner is Halverson. Cody Moline now with it, and Moline is pinned up into the corner by Stuckert. Witherspoon collides with Stuckert. And the puck exits the zone and quickly flipped in by Stevens Point. Now, this is an area where Stevens Point, obviously, you want to score, but also you want to chew up as much of this clock as you can. Now, 4-on-3 opportunity if the Blue Devils hustle. Here comes Terakawa. He's going to slash. He's going to curl around the net. Pass is broken up by Stevens Point, and now the Pointers are on the move here. 3:05 to go here. Jordan Fader going to attack. He's going to get a shot. That's going to hit the side of the net. Here comes Hummerstone. One-timer blocked there by Perez. Stewart pokes it up to Fader. Fader gets it back to him. Fader up top. Hummerstone with a pass up front, and that is going to go out of play. Oh, Stevens Point is really taking as many shots as they can in this game, and that has been an area where we were talking about it in previous broadcasts. You listened here and watched here. Stevens Point's got to get more shots on goal. Well, they have definitely had more shots on goal tonight, and that's resulted in a 3-2 lead, but they still have 2 minutes and 47 seconds left. I'm going to pose that question here. With just 2 minutes and 47 seconds left, when is UW-Stout going to pull their goaltender and get that extra attacker on the ice and try to knot this one up here? Harrison Keller has other ideas as he's going to go quickly up the ice and try to take no takedown, no call, as Keller just hits the deck. Kobe Keller, excuse me. Nice block there by Pulias. Quickly getting it up the ice. Isaac Moberg now with it. Here come the Pointers. They get to center ice, and Moberg quickly flips it off the side. No icing. Now Pulias gets it around the other side to Moberg. Getting close to the 2-minute mark here. You have to imagine if the Pointers can keep chewing this clock up, here's a chance up front, and Stevens Point will not be able to capitalize. Another chance there as Pulias had a beautiful pass to the slot, but Hill couldn't capitalize. It's 3-2 here with 2:03 to go in this third period of regulation. It'll be interesting to see if we get Stevens Point, they're going to hold on to that timeout just in case, should this be a tie game in the final 2 minutes, as the faceoff is won by Halverson. Perez has it now, kicking it over to Dahlquist, kicking it over to Dahlside. Hayden now with it, fighting for it as Quentin Hill falls down in the corner. Northey now looking to try to get to it, and now Perez pokes it up free, and Brandeman will move it across the ice. Wagner comes out from behind his net and pokes it free, and here comes the Blue Devils. They're on the attack here, quickly getting it around the edge, and they will pull their goaltender here as the puck exits the zone. So it's a 6-on-5 here for the UW-Stout Blue Devils in the final 90 seconds here. Ide now with it. He flips it down the ice as Finstrom hits it. Oh my goodness. There was a chance that could have been an empty net goal. Regardless, it goes down, and Stevens Point looking to try to clear it out once again. Harrison Stewart with it, finds the stick, and when exit the zone, and they bank off the edge, and that's going to go down behind the net, and icing is going to be called. Oh my goodness. Stevens Point, I know it was a natural reaction for Finstrom to try to touch it, but if he didn't let that one go, that probably goes into the net. We have ourselves a 4-2 game. And Stevens Point would be more than likely going on to a victory here, and there's going to be a timeout taken by Stevens Point. I was wondering, if they're going to make that choice to get a timeout and just talk things over. Is they're going to be they're going to be down a man the rest of the way, as it's going to be 6-on-5 hockey here. As Stevens Point is just going to try to hold on here in the final couple seconds here. 62 seconds left in this one. There's a minute and 2 seconds on the clock as Stevens Point and Stout are locked up in an all-timer of a game. Really won't see a much better one than this one. Good defense, good offense, good play by both goaltenders. Both sides are really executing where they needed to. Although, I mean, both sides could definitely have done better in the power play, but you couldn't ask for much more for their penalty kill, as both sides have just shut down every power play that they've had. But can Stevens Point shut this one down? One final stop here with 1 minute and 2 seconds. Can they stop the Blue Devils from making this one a tie 3-3 game? And we got 62 seconds to find out whether or not they can. Finstrom on the draw. Very important face-off up and coming for Stevens Point. A little antsy on this one. Finstrom can't get it. Here come the Blue Devils. Keller with a shot and a pad save by Wagner. 58 seconds to go. We'll do it again. Beautiful save there by Wagner as it hits him right into the chest. Once again, Wagner beat 5-hole today. The one went right over his shoulder, and it was just really kind of a crazy goal. I don't really think he saw it, as there's a lot of traffic up front as the puck squirts free, and Hummerstone's just trying to get it out of the zone. Hummerstone does now get it out. Now it pokes free behind the net as Derekawa has it shot up front, and he can't find it. Where's the puck as it goes out of play, as Wagner just couldn't locate it. Oh my goodness, a lot of traffic up front. Oh, 42 seconds on the dot here. What? You couldn't ask for much more. Everybody in this KB Willett Arena is as antsy as it gets. As Hart just a little too early on the jump. And face-off tie-up one. Here's David Hill. Can he get it out of the zone? No, he can't. UW-Stout keeps it in play. Hill now with it again alongside the boards. Hennigan trying to clear it out of the zone. Close to approaching 30 seconds. 30 seconds to go here in regulation. Just pinning across the boards. Smart play there by Hennigan, as he just doesn't want Stout to get the puck on his stick. Here's a shot up front. Boyce, and a beautiful save there by Wagner. One-timer by Boyce up top, but Wagner gobbles it up. And it remains a 3-2 game here. 20.3 seconds left on this clock here in regulation. Stout fighting to come back here. Stevens Point just battling to keep it a 3-2 lead. Face-off won by Stevens Point, and they're going to try to get it out of the zone as Moore is stuck with it. 14 seconds left as we approach 10 seconds to go. Around 12 as the puck exits the zone. 8 seconds left to go. Boyce has got to get it. He's got to hurry. Here come the Blue Devils. 4, 3, 2, 1. Another shot on goal up front, and that will do it. Stevens Point is going to hold on after a furious assault there at the end by the Blue Devils, but they are unable to get the puck in the net, and Stevens Point picks up the big-time WIAC home opener win, as the Pointers improve to 3-1-3 on the season and are 1-0 in WIAC play. Oh my goodness, what a game. You couldn't ask for much more here on a Friday night in KB Willett Arena. Two very good teams going back and forth at it, and you know, you got to credit both sides. It was just an incredibly well played game, as the Pointers are victorious here on Friday night and the WIAC home opener. Once again, 3-2 is the score, and the final shots on goal pretty darn close. 36-30, Stevens Point getting the nod in the shot department, but what a game overall. Stevens Point with a master class in the penalty kill unit. They just shut everything down. It was a really impressive performance, and you got to credit this Pointers offense for just being resilient. They continue to struggle in the power play, but they stuck with it, and they were able to pull away with the victory on the night. Well, with that is going to just about do it here for our broadcast here on SBTV and 90 FM. I really want to thank all of you for listening and watching tonight's broadcast. This victory by Stevens Point. You got to credit Ryan Kreft again on the camera. Couldn't do it all without him. So for Ryan Kreft on the camera, I'm Will Haroldson. I want to thank you guys all for watching and listening tonight, and we will see